here's Brody Brazil.
Seeing the scoreboard today, seeing the brand new installation, you know, when I walked in for the first time, it was like, whoa. And I intimately remember what the old one was like. I looked at it for many hours of my life. So I had a really good sense of how big it was and also kind of like the features and the display. But this new one it's got to be, I don't want to say double the size because like that's a big deal, but it's probably pretty close to that. Double the width, the height is there, the screen space is there. The fact that there's no metal pieces, it's all screen like all the way around. And that ribbon above it, there used to be what, one ribbon, two ribbons, the scoreboard, and then was there one below it even? I can't remember. Or just 1, 2, and whatever. Yeah, I think there was 1, 2 rings and then the main scoreboard, the old way. But the big one on top of it, kind of the rounded rectangle or the rounded square and the way it tilts, and then the screens on the underside of it, just gigantic. Really high resolution, very sharp image. And then the brand new ring around the bowl. It feels much taller, bigger, brighter. I'll have to go to the team president, Jonathan Becker, and he's like me. He loves the geek specs of all this stuff, like resolution, brightness, what it takes to make it work, what it took to put it in. I love all this stuff. How heavy it is, I'm sure he knows all that. How much energy it uses. Anyway, just in terms of what you'll notice right away, when you see this thing, it's just like, whoa. And you combine that with the sound system that got upgraded, the lights that got upgraded a handful of years ago, the LED in the seats, that little system from a couple seasons ago. It's, I'll tell you what, it's the coolest thing about the tank is that when it got, built in the early 90s and opened in 93, I mean, it was a very 90s building. Remember the neon characters above the concession stands? Like it reeked of 90s. And a lot of that stuff doesn't exist anymore. Like they've taken the 90s out of it, but the entire time, like the floors are always polished and they redid all the bathrooms. They look like Vegas hotel bathrooms. I gotta tell you this. When I walked in one of the restrooms last year, and they always looked original, very, very original, very 90s, a lot of concrete and whatever, metal and steel. But I walked in the bathroom like, whoa, am I at like the MGM here or something right now? Am I the Cosmo? It really does feel like that. So I love the upgrades they've done at that building, and it does not feel like one of the oldest barns in the league. I think SAP Center is the 4th oldest rink in the NHL, 4th oldest building. I guess we can do it by age. Okay, so they're saying here Madison Square Garden is 51 years old, but it was totally renovated in the 2000s, so that's not really true. The Islanders play in a brand new building, so this is outdated. So Calgary, still in the Saddle Dome, that's number 1. Anaheim, Honda Center, like I said, that's number 2, and I guess tied for that are the Sharks. Oh, and United Center, that's right, here we go, and then the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. Now that one I've been to pretty much all these places. St. Louis does feel kind of dated. Concourses, all that stuff. Chicago, it's still classy. Like when they did it originally, they didn't cheap out on it. I don't know if there's anything special about United Center. It's huge. I mean, it seats almost 20,000 for hockey. But I'm just saying, like, the building, the atmosphere, what they've done here in San Jose, I think in Calgary, they're begging for a new building, right? They've tried for years. It just hasn't worked. Honda Center, I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing there. The updates and upgrades, and it doesn't. Honda Center kind of feels like an Office Max sometimes, if that makes sense. I don't know why it kind of feels like that. I haven't been in an Office Max in a long time, but it kind of feels like that. Anyway, I just go back to taking care of your home, and the Sharks have done a great job of that. And adding on all these new things is certainly part of the equation. So you saw it, 3rd oldest rink in the league right now. Definitely doesn't feel that way.